Welcome to the Explainer. If you've ever felt like trying to gain control over your chaotic reactive schedule is, well, literally like trying to herd cats, you are definitely not alone. It's tough, but today we're going to fix that. We're looking at a surprisingly simple, neuroscience-backed framework called the 1-3-5 rule. It's designed specifically to help you cure decision fatigue and finally take back control of your day. Look, have you ever finished an incredibly busy day, collapsed onto the couch, and realized, wait, I essentially accomplished nothing of real value today? It's the worst, right? That overwhelming pain point of scattered to-do lists, constantly putting out fires, and feeling completely burned out is super common, especially for newcomers trying to manage a heavy workload. And get this, it's actually a physiological response to how we structure our workdays. So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the decision fatigue trap, dive into the science of daily planning, break down the 1-3-5 rule, look at sizing your daily tasks, and finally, talk about making it actually work. Okay, let's dive into part 1, the decision fatigue trap, and exactly why your brain absolutely hates unstructured days. 35,000. Take a second to let that number sink in. According to research, that is the average number of decisions an adult makes every single day. I mean, from what to wear, to what to eat, to figuring out which email to answer first, we tend to treat decision-making like it's free, but it's really not. Every single choice chips away at a finite reserve of cognitive energy, creating this massive drain on our mental battery. And that brings us to something called decision fatigue, which is the deterioration of your decision-making quality and your willpower after a long session of making choices. For anyone trying to get organized, every time you look at a massive to-do list and ask yourself, what should I do next? You are burning through that finite reserve. By the time you actually need to sit down and do the deep, meaningful work, your brain is already exhausted just from deciding what to do. This is exactly why you see highly successful people bypassing this trap all the time. Think about it. Barack Obama famously wore only blue or gray suits. Mark Zuckerberg? The same gray t-shirt every day. They deliberately minimize trivial choices to conserve mental energy for what actually matters. Why? Because willpower and decision-making draw from the exact same mental resource. Moving on to Section 2, the science of daily planning. It's time to meet your personal CEO. So the crucial thing to understand here is that your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain responsible for complex planning and organizing, functions best when it has a clear roadmap. When you plan your day in advance, it acts as a pre-commitment device. In fact, research shows that having a clear plan actually lowers cortisol, your stress hormone, by up to 50%. And it calms the amygdala, which is your brain's threat detection center. Just look at the difference here. A reactive day is built entirely on the anxiety of winging it. Constant alerts, making fresh decisions every 5 minutes, and endless context switching. A planned day, on the other hand, offers the calm predictability of having already pre-decided your actions. You are literally outsourcing your decisions to your past self, so your brain can focus purely on execution. All right, Section 3, the 1-3-5 rule explained. This is the ultimate framework, especially if you're a beginner trying to cut through the daily chaos. You know that traditional reactive task list we all use? Let's be honest, it's endless, it's completely unprioritized, and it's really just a document of wishful thinking. The 1-3-5 plan, however, is totally different. It implements a strict cap of 9 items maximum. This applies structural pressure, absolutely forcing you to prioritize before you execute, guaranteeing a clear outcome for your day. So here is exactly how the 1-3-5 rule breaks down. You commit to 1 high-impact, data-finding task, 3 medium tasks that move your active projects forward, and 5 small tasks to prevent admin debt, like emails and quick approvals from piling up. This rule is amazing because it perfectly balances deep, meaningful work with the quick wins you need to maintain your momentum. Which leads us nicely into Section 4, sizing your daily tasks. Let's make these abstract numbers a bit more concrete. Now, what's really important here is grounding this theory in strict reality so you don't accidentally overcommit. Your 1 big task, that should take 2 to 4 hours of focused work. Your 3 medium tasks should be about 30 to 90 minutes each. And your 5 small tasks are just 5 to 20 minutes each. If a task takes longer than these ranges, it simply needs to be broken down into smaller pieces. When you map those durations out across a typical 8-hour workday, you absolutely have to account for a massive chunk of buffer time. Why? Well, science shows we all suffer from an optimism bias where we always assume best-case scenarios. To combat this, you need to add a 50% buffer to your estimated times for things like transitions, breaks, and those inevitable interruptions.
Okay, finally, Section 5, making it actually work. Let's get your foolproof day set up.
The best part? You can actually set up your day in under 5 minutes. Step 1, capture everything by doing a massive brain dump. Step 2, choose your one major priority. Step 3, pick your 3 medium tasks. Step 4, add your 5 quick wins. And step 5, check your calendar to make sure this plan actually fits the real time you have available today. And once you master the basics, you can really supercharge the system. Try pairing your 1-3-5 list with visual time blocking in your calendar, actually putting specific tasks into specific time slots. Start tracking the actual time you spend versus what you planned. This turns a simple planning ritual into a measurable operational practice. And hey, remember to be flexible. On a day packed with meetings, it's totally fine to adapt it to a 1-2-5 or even a 1-2-2. Finally, at the end of the week, review the gap between your intent and the operational truth so you can refine your estimations. So I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative question today. If you only accomplished one task tomorrow, what would make the day a success? That is your one. By embracing this kind of choice architecture, you eliminate decision fatigue before the day even begins. Seriously, try writing down your 1-3-5 for tomorrow right now. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy planning.